Let me just go through it. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has identified the Nigeria Police Force and 5 federal ministries and agencies as having the highest number of suspected fake workers uncovered during its payroll verification exercise. And ICPC Chairman Musa Adamu Aliu, SAN, disclosed the findings while speaking on the Commission's investigation into payroll fraud across federal government institutions. That is according to a BBC Pidgin report on Wednesday. And the Commission said it discovered suspected 908 ghost workers in at least 50 ministries, departments, and agencies, recovering about 942 million naira allegedly paid as fraudulent salaries. And according to the ICPC, ghost workers are fictitious names inserted into government payrolls to receive salaries fraudulently. And in some cases, salaries are allegedly diverted by officials who add relatives or associates to the payroll despite them not being employed. And Aliu said investigators uncovered one case involving a man who allegedly placed the names of his wife, son, and mother-in-law on the payroll while also collecting the salaries of 12 workers. This is ambiguous. Yes. Tola.
Does that man also belong to the police or another federal agency?
Yeah, I think they summed up all of those agencies.
No, I mean the one who included his mother's and in-laws and his son's name.
It is another case. But among the institutions identified, the Nigeria Police Force recorded the highest number of suspected fake workers. And for this operation, we identified 570 people whom we suspect among the fake workers collecting salaries without working. The ICPC chairman said about the police data. 570 something out of 908 ghost workers discovered.
Well, I guess the police authorities have some explaining to do
yes.
to Nigerians. I mean, if they have the highest number of ghost workers and yet they are at the arrowhead of one of the arrowheads of prosecuting
yes,
the one who is said to be behind the establishment of a ghost agency. So this is the season of ghost agencies and ghost workers. And you can imagine the whooping sum the government is said to have saved from that. So many leakages here and there, running into trillions of naira, running into millions of dollars, yet Nigeria has not collapsed. And yet they tell you that if they revitalize universities, I'm saying this at the risk of sounding like a broken record, like I always say, if they revitalize universities, if they revitalize the health sector, if they revitalize social services across this country,
the agri sector, energy
the oil sector, bring sanity into the energy and oil and gas, and they will tell you that Nigeria will collapse. Right.
Well, yes, we have this one here talking about I think that fake DG is being grilled. Yes, inside police detention right now.
Okay.
Yes, the fake agency probe report, and he was arrested, and at the end of the day, I think he has been arraigned, and he has been talking. And the investigation into the controversial Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council intensified on Wednesday as the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission commenced interrogation of the alleged founder of the disputed agency, Adeni Adeyemi, inside police detention. On the PFIPC, controversy erupted after allegations that Adeyemi presented himself as the Director General of a presidential body that several government institutions said they neither created nor recognized, while questions were raised over alleged forged documents, bank accounts, and the council's inclusion in budget proposals. And Adeyemi's questioning, however, came after an earlier attempt by the anti-graft agency to interview him was stalled when his new lawyer failed to appear at the Nigeria Police Force National Cybercrime Center, where the suspect was being held. Now, They said he presented himself as the Director General of a presidential body that several government institutions said they neither created nor recognized, while questions were raised over alleged forged okay, they did not recognize. And he has an office. He had an office in I think was it the one complex, federal government complex there. The documents came out from the office of the head of service, from the central bank, from the office of the chief of staff.
And he successfully fooled all those establishments. He successfully fooled all those institutions and the individuals that head those institutions. Maybe he was using Otumoko Bimbo. I think they should look into that as well.
Are all those people going to be, affected by that Otumoko? It is not possible.
So maybe it was Osumokpo. So maybe it was Osumokpo works. Well, I think they call it something like AD. They call it AD in Yoruba.
Yeah,
so
in English slang, they call it jazz. Jazz. So Yoruba juju
or voodoo. So maybe it works effectively against the CBN, against the office of the Accountant General of the Federation, against the police, against the other anti-graft agencies, and the Senate and the House of Reps. So thank God the House of Reps is initiating a probe, while the Senate has conveniently said they are not probing. They are hiding behind the excuse. They are hiding behind the
House
middle.
of Representatives. They were the ones that initiated the probe. The Senate are hiding.
They are hiding behind the needle, saying that since the ICP is already probing, that they are not going to probe. But it's interesting that the police that have Mr. Adeyemi in their custody for being the head of a fictitious agency, they are also the same ones that are topping the list of ghost workers. So it's interesting, and I wonder why someone has to come up with that at this time. All right, APC Atiku trade wars over 12.8 trillion naira service-wide votes. All sorts of terms and terminologies when it comes to spending money. Okay, there's a rider. ADC presidential candidate lacks basic understanding of public finance. That's the APC firing back. Now, you fail to address central issue of how service-wide votes ballooned by over 1,918% in 2 years. That's a Atiku. Well, instead of hurling insults back at Atiku Abubakar, I think there are certain things he wants to know. Yes, he's in the opposition, and you could feel that this is why he's raising these questions. But then the fundamental thing is to answer those questions, not for the sake of Alhaji Atiku, but for the sake of Nigerians who would also be asking the same questions, but don't have the kind of forum or platform that Alhaji Atiku has to make his questions to make it go viral. All right, the presidency and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar traded words on Wednesday over the inclusion of 12.8 trillion as service-wide votes in the 2026 budget. While Atiku, in a statement signed by his media office, picked holes in the said allocation, calling it unprecedented sum, the ruling All Progressive Congress accused Atiku of lacking the requisite information on public finance. In a statement on Wednesday, the Atiku media office said the APC's reaction exposed a guilty conscience and failed to address the central issue of how the SWV service-wide votes ballooned by over 1,918% in 2 years. And the statement reads: the attention of the media office of former Vice President of Nigeria and presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has been drawn to the emotionally charged but intellectually bankrupt response by the National Police Secretary of APC, Felix Morka, over our exposure of the unprecedented 12.8 trillion service-wide vote contained in the 2026 Appropriation Act. Well, the APC goes, the Atiku camp goes on and on to criticize Mr. Morka, what they call Mr. Morka's descent into insults instead of addressing the issue at hand. And they also say, I'm fast forwarding now, the Atiku camp is also saying no one disputes the existence of a of a service-wide vote as a recognized budgetary instrument. What Nigerians are questioning is the size, opacity, and abuse of the provision under the Tinubu administration. If the APC truly believes there is nothing unusual about this allocation, it should explain why an envelope that stood at 638.34 billion naira has suddenly ballooned to 12.8 trillion naira, an amount that rivals the combined budgets of critical sectors such as defense, education, healthcare, and works. It further raised concerns over vague project descriptions tied to the allocation, warning that without specifying the fund risk becoming a slush fund.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to talk about that, Tola. How does he had been vice president, how does he get to know this information before reacting? All these informations, you understand?
Oh, if you are in the opposition, you are supposed to have insiders in the government of the day to look for the filth at the rump of that government, to look for the filth at the back on the backside of that government. That's what some of the things you are supposed to be doing when you are in the opposition. So, and again, well, it was embedded in the 2026 budget, so I don't think it's something hidden. All the government has to do is to explain, and I think it is the Minister of Finance or the Accountant General that should be answering this question, so not the party. Like I said, they've picked holes, the school campus again picked holes in the response by the APC through Mr. Felix Moka, and they called it a descent into insult. And when I'm reading this is exactly what it is. He hasn't offered any plausible explanation than to haul insults back at the ADC and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Yes, they are trying to mudsling you. I understand that aspect of the game. Talking about the Atiku camp, but then it is also important. Have they raised a pertinent question or not? If you agree that the question is pertinent, then you must answer Nigerians. You are not answering to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. You are answering the questions by being asked by millions of Nigerians.
Former President Atiku Abubakar is asking questions, of course, on behalf of Nigerians. Yes, he wants Nigerians to know. He wants to know, and he wants Nigerians to know.
On behalf of himself, you are making him sound like a saint.
No, I'm not saying he's a saint. I'm not saying he's a saint.
In the midst of him trying to mudsling the ruling party and the federal government, in the process, is coming up with some truths.
And some facts.
So, yes. The same question, the purpose for which he is asking those questions, it should not be, of course, he wants to be president and he wants Nigerians to vote for him, and this touting himself as a better alternative. But then, in all that, the questions he has raised are pertinent. When he's raising questions that are irrelevant, of course, we know it, Nigerians know it. But this one, I think there should be some explaining. And I think whoever is in charge, even if it's maybe if there's an essay in charge of financial matters, a special advisor or something like that, the president should commission him to do the explaining to Nigerians. But when you take Nigerians for granted and you say that, oh, it's all politics, and all that, that is when we begin to have a problem.
Yes, Tola, I can see a story before you now, and that is why I always quarrel. You two always quarrel. You remember when Mr. Bayo Nonuga, the special advisor to the governor, to the president on strategy and information, said there was no hunger in the country. Yes, there were reactions from various people. He said he used to ask his private personal staff, is there anything? Is there any problem? They will reply him, no problem. Now, see the CBN governor now talking again. Economy healthy. Cardoso assures Senate. Says CBN aims to raise diaspora remittances to $1 billion monthly. How many people understands what he is saying here? Please, I just want you to go through that story.
Economy
is healthy.
Well, first and foremost, he can say the economy is healthy, you know, is at the spearhead of ruining the economy with the various harsh policies that they are bringing up. And I say ruining the economy because none of those policies are working.
Yes.
Even the IMF has admitted as much. The IMF that put them up to all this. So if it's at the spearhead, you don't expect him to criticize himself. And secondly, as long as his own personal economy is healthy, then Nigeria's economy is healthy. CBN governor is comfortable, Bimbo. And
yes,
and that's how to be a Nigerian. Every other person can go to blazes as long as I am okay. That is the mentality. That is the average mentality. And that is how to be a Nigerian.
Because it does not go to the market to buy. It does not buy petrol.
It gets almost everything free.
Free, yes.
The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Oluyole Cardoso, on Wednesday told the Senate that Nigeria's external reserves had increased to $52.73 billion as of July 9, and we are supposed to be very happy about that in the midst of poverty. I don't think we've stopped being the world's poverty capital as we speak. Well, in January this year, the reserves stood at $48.88 billion, indicating an increase of 7.9%. Mr. Cardoso spoke during a session with the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, chaired by Senator Adetokunbo Abiru. He said this signifies healthy signs for the Nigerian economy and amid external pressure. The restoration of confidence in the foreign exchange market has contributed to stronger external reserve accumulation. And it says gross external reserves increased by 7.9% to 52.73 billion naira as at July 9, 2026, from 48.88 billion naira in January 2026, while net external reserves rose by 900% to over $40 billion, which was $3.99 billion in 2023, it disclosed. He said the economy generally showed positive outlook for the second half of the year despite persistent uncertainties, as inflation was expected to continue its gradual moderation backed by tight monetary conditions, improved policy coordination, greater exchange rate stability, and easing supply side pressures.
I think he explained some things there, because I don't know the economy that you're saying. The economy is healthy. Does that affect the people directly?
I was about to say that, Bimbo, the economy is healthy, so why am I not feeling better, Bimbo? Why am I not feeling better economically? So for them, for him in his cozy air-conditioned office, a healthy economy is what is indicated on paper and not what is reflected out there on the streets. He's there in his cozy office, he cannot know that it is raining outside. So that is the mentality of the average Nigerian economist. And for instance, a country like United States, for instance, yes, when they say the economy, when they say things are getting better, even in the midst of high level, let me say, recession in countries like that, food basically will never be a problem.
Yes.
Food and its affordability.
Yes.
But here, everything, you pay for everything through the nose.
Yes.
You find it
astronomically
a equivalent tax to access even the most basic social services. Yet you say the economy is healthy. He hasn't said anything new, but it's the same thing he has been saying since he was appointed CBN governor.
External reserves have increased. What has that got to do with the ordinary Nigerian?
It's the same thing he has been saying over and over and over again. And ditto for the other economists, the average Nigerian economists, for them it's paper improvement,
yes,
and not the realistic one that we would all see and that we would all feel. So I ask again, if Mr. Cardoso says the economy is healthy, why am I not feeling better?
Yes. Why can't you buy petrol inside your car? Why are you running or walking inside the rains
on Okada and rain lashing me here and there?
Yes. Now this one, talking about security here, Christian persecution. I don't always want to call it Christian persecution like President Donald Trump is still insisting. Nigerians persecution. Yes. Trump vows to, well, I think he's saying a good word now. Trump vows to stand with Nigeria in anti-terror war.
He has that time now.
Yes. He applauded President Tinubu's resolve to tackle nation's challenges, and he pledged to nullify jihadist threats in Nigeria, Somalia, Syria, and other countries. Well, the US President Donald Trump has written his Nigerian counterpart Bola Tinubu, vowing to stand with Nigeria in the fight against terrorism. He also commended Tinubu's resolve to tackle issues plaguing Nigeria, especially the violence affecting Christian communities. I will turn it Nigerians, affecting Nigerians, saying it is an honor to stand with his administration in the fight against terrorists. Trump's letter came as his government said jihadist terrorist groups have remained a danger to global peace and security despite effective campaigns, but vowed to sustain counter-terrorism efforts through diplomacy, financial action, and military cooperation with partners, especially in Nigeria, Somalia, and Syria, among others.
Yes, Bimbo, but two things. Well, my own personal appeal and admonition to Mr. Trump in all this. Two things, like I said, Bimbo. First of all, you should stop seeing this as a religious thing.
Yes.
It's not about Christian persecution, and I still insist, despite what many of our callers despite the opinion that contrary that quite a number of our callers may have. I know Mr. Akobi Adebayo, for instance, feels very strongly about this, and Mr. Daniel Jetude from Aguare. But then for me, Mr. Trump should stop seeing it as a religious thing. That's one. And then secondly, in standing with Nigeria in the anti-terror war, it should also go after those people, the political elites that are complicit, that are culpable in sponsoring and financing terrorism. The Americans know them. We also know them, but we have refused to move against them. So no matter how highly placed, I think that should be the beginning. So when you cut off the lifeline, then you can begin to destroy the dangerous crops, dangerous fruits of the poisonous vine. So I think those two things, Bimbo, for me, is what Mr. Trump should emphasize in coming after the terrorists in Nigeria. He's welcome. He's very welcome if that's going to help us, since we have refused to do what we are supposed to do by ourselves. And okay, coming to Oyo State now. It says court stops EFCC's planned probe of Oyo finances, declares request speculative. Well, a federal high court sitting in Ibadan has restrained the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) from proceeding with its planned investigation into the finances of the Oyo State government, ruling that the agency's request amounts to a speculative exercise. Now, Justice Nkeoye Maha, while delivering judgment in the suit on Wednesday, held that although the EFCC has statutory powers to investigate financial crimes, such powers must be exercised in accordance with the Constitution and the rule of law. The court, according to a statement signed by the Governor's Special Advisor, Media, Dr. Sulaiman Olanriwaju, ruled that the Commission's request contained in its letter dated June 2, 2025, seeking extensive financial records from the Oyo State government, amounted to what he described as a fishing expedition. Justice Maha held that the constitutional rights of the plaintiffs, particularly the right to fair hearing, could not be infringed under the guise of an investigation. Now, the suit was instituted by the Oyo State government after the EFCC wrote to the state's accountant general requesting copies of all contracts involving the state and details of payments made to contractors from 2021 up to June 2, 2025. According to the government, it responded by asking the commission to identify the specific contractors or companies under investigation to enable it to provide relevant documents. It said the EFCC did not respond to the request, prompting the filing of the suit. So, from what I'm seeing here, the position of the Oyo State government is that the request of the EFCC are spurious. They were not specific.
Yes.
What exactly do they want to beam their satellite upon? And the government was asking them to be specific, and the EFCC was not forthcoming, hence the filing of the suit. And so, well, for now, the court has restrained the EFCC from going ahead with that probe. It's not, to me, well, I'm not a lawyer, but the request of the EFCC also appears vague, rather vague to me. And well, counsel to the plaintiffs, led by the Attorney General Abiodun Aikomo, argued that the EFCC's request, which covered several years of government transactions, was oppressive, unreasonable, and excessively burdensome, considering the volume of contracts executed during the period. The plaintiffs further argued that the anti-graft agency's investigative powers are subject to constitutional safeguards, and that investigations must be based on evidence and specific allegations rather than broad, indiscriminate inquiries.
That means they had been well. They want to know what had been happening since before this government came into power, and what were they looking at since that time?
No, not even 2021. The government was already in place in 2021.
Okay. I
think this government came in, was it 2019? The Shea Makinde government.
Yeah, I should think so.
So, well, I don't know, but then, like I said, probably if they had gone ahead with the probe, possibly the whole inquiry might have fallen flat on its face like a pack of cards because of the lack of being specific, I would say,
and evidence. Lack of evidence.
So it looks from the layman, from the point of the legal layman now, it also looks vague to me what the FCC is requesting, and all the state government. From what I'm reading here, they are not exactly against a probe of the state finances. What they are saying is that it should not be based on maybe the realm of spurious allegations, and they should also be very specific on what exactly they want to look into.
Now, talking about the correctional centers here, custodial centers and custodial service, delayed justice, crowded cells. Over 80,000 rot in Nigerian prisons awaiting trial most times. Now, Nigeria's
is likely to increase.
Yes, Nigeria's correctional centers remain severely overcrowded, with tens of thousands of inmates awaiting trial despite repeated government efforts to decongest custodial facilities. Why can't they embark on a measure to ensure that these prisons, these custodial facilities are decongested? That means they are not getting it straight. Yes. Do we say we don't know? They don't know what to do?
Bimbo, in a country where the economy is harsh, where things are the way they are in Nigeria, the very likely that more people will get into trouble. Especially young people, is very high. And so, hence the crowding of the prisons. There's just about as much that the judicial system can deal with. So, of course, the judiciary itself would also be overwhelmed in handling some of these cases. I'm trying to tell you one of the reasons we are having this prison congestion. Many more people will continue to get into trouble. A society that doesn't really care for its citizens, a system that doesn't really care about the welfare of its citizens, but only keeps saying that the economy is healthy on paper. In that kind of system, you'll have more people getting into trouble in a bid to make ends meet, in a bid to make a living. More people will turn to crime. So the probability that a lot of people, because they don't have anybody that will stand for them and care, and even when they get into trouble, they will remain behind the walls of the prison awaiting trial.
So, while the officials point to recent reforms and inmate releases as evidence of progress, fresh statistics and first-hand accounts suggest that prolonged pretrial detention, stringent bail conditions, and systemic delays continue to keep many Nigerians behind bars without conviction. And according to the Comptroller General of Prisons, Sylvester Nwakuchi, it disclosed that inmates awaiting trial accounted for 64% of the country's custodial population, which exceeded 80,000. And he said as of February 9, 2026, Nigeria's custodial centers housed 80,812 inmates, comprising 51,955 awaiting trial inmates, 24,913 convicted inmates, and 3,850 others under different detention categories. and the number of awaiting trial inmates represented an increase of 1,252 from the 50,703 recorded in December 2025.
And we have this one here from Rivers State. As we open the phone lines, Fubara declares support for Rivers Rainbow Coalition, backs Tinubu Chinda, like he has a choice. And on illegal mining, Senate proposes bill on untitled regulation penalties. And it also says here, Olakpegba emerges UI's new vice chancellor to resume November 1.
Yes, I heard the news. This morning, very early this morning.
And the Dangote refinery hikes petrol price to 1,215 naira, resumes gantry loading in naira.
So how much will petrol now be?
Right, let's open the phone lines. 070-5555-1985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alexi Warren.
So have you, Mr. Warren?
No, you see people to the state government. Yes. But what I want to ask, what of Imo State governor that did nothing, get no money? Have you sit down and put them? No. They are really looking for something for making there. That is to matter. Now, I'm going to matter. How many does that include the 14 billion? How many call it to? Thank you, good morning. So I'm by yourself, right? Have you improved life of Nigeria? Let me go on example. Around 4 o'clock one day, I knew somebody say, have you eaten money? He said, Coco drink. I said, Coco? It's money, Coco. You can see the situation on ground. That's the Nigeria. People are suffering here. Increase. Increase, though, out of this, you take some. Keep yourself. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so doesn't sound very happy with the Imo State governor. 070-5555-1985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you, sir. If a fire should start from the river, with what can we quench it? Police are also involved in this, what do we call it? Now, and they are the persons believed, trusted with the duty of arresting the criminals. They are also involved. What shall we do? In order to do very long, really well. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Akonbi Adebayo. 070-5555-1985.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Dangote, and well, he also saw his school outside too, as you all know. So whatever if the prices of products is high on the national market, Dangote. Now, one thing is just that we all article now, petrol and all that, diesel and all that. What about the liquefied gas? Liquefied gas, it was high before the price was reduced, but now it is high again. So, and the government seems not to be interested in doing anything on it. They seems to be, they don't care. They are like dodging. They are dodging their way. Like when people shout, they dodge. That kind of situation. So, that's the situation we find ourselves. Then, on the issue of, before I finish on that petroleum, I look at the prices of petroleum in OPEC countries around the world yesterday. Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, in fact, Russia, and countries that does not have even petrol, United States and others. They sell in gallons over there. And our government will come out and say they are more expensive. People like that is buying cheap fuel. We say if people take their time and check all these prices around the world, they will say we've been cheated in this country, we've been battered, we've been beaten in this country by the government. They seem not to be interested in anything. What they are interested in is to make money, generate, make money. And when especially they make that money is not reflected on the society. It is them and them alone. Yesterday I was talking about prices of ticketing. They are saying people go to people go there to enjoy themselves and all that. People can't spend 10,000 naira on it. I tell you, whenever Nigeria is hosting an event, 80,000 capacity, we don't have any capacity in that stadium. 15,000 capacity that people will not be there. If they come there today, if not come there tomorrow, the money is not there. And then people can even afford 2,000 naira. 500 naira we used to watch shooting stars. Some people will just want free tickets because they cannot afford it. People cannot afford all these things. So it's really economy that not by what the government used to tell us and all that. Then on the state government, before I go, sorry, I'll take government, EFCC and all that. EFCC has the right to put their nose with anything. I just thought that the government is coming one day. All of them, the one that is investigating, even Lagos State government is investigated 30 years back. That is for sure. The government is coming one day. So don't worry yourself about anything. Yeah, love is here alive. Thank you.
All right, thank you
very much.
Mr. Jide from Ikolaba. Ondo Assembly crisis deepens as 21 lawmakers back Speaker's removal. And the only thing I see here, the lawmakers are not giving any specific reason why they want him to go. They said that they have just decided that they no longer want him. They said something to do with his conduct, but they've not specified.
They cannot just decide that they want to remove him. Something is underneath.
Oh, they can if they have the majority required to remove him.
No, I said the reasons. I'm talking about reasons now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, we lost that. Internal crisis over. We are now best alternatives to reading APC, SDP.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, yeah, Monsura.
The glory and peace of God and grace of God will be with all of us in Nigeria.
Amen.
CBS governor says our economy is healthy in Nigeria. The country that people that live in Nigeria do not have free to eat in Nigeria. They just eat 101. They use method to eat their food. But what I want to say to you is that before we can see our economy is okay, we're supposed to go out to meet with common people so that common people can explain what is going on in Nigeria for him before he can see our economy is okay. Look at the price of the petrol that we buy now, 1,250 naira per liter. Our economy is not okay as for me. Where we need it off in Nigeria.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Your brain cannot wait. Access equity and the promise of World Brain Day 2026. That's on the mental health page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
God
Reverend.
bless you. Reverend Kanobabatoli speaking from Lalate.
Good to have you, Reverend.
We congratulate Professor Olakuda and we wish him happy tenure of office at UI. Professor Olakuda, the son of Alate, is Baptist, and we are living in that town. We know him very well. So he deserves that place. And I know that the students of UI will enjoy him. So I think it's a big congratulations to him. Then concerning the congestion of prison, it is the government that caused it. If life is meaningful for the citizen of Nigeria, I think people will not commit crime. So that is the area where the government should look at. They should make sure that everything is okay for the citizen, so that they will not commit crime again. I think the government should do something very fast. Reverend Kano Babatode, speaking from Lalate.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you very much, Reverend.
Bimbo, the eagle on Iroko, Nobel laureate Professor Oluyole Soyinka is 92.
Oh, 92 years. I want to say congratulations to the great prof and Nobel laureate Professor Oluyole Soyinka.
And there's a write-up about him here, wondering how he would be feeling about his dear country, Nigeria.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tola and Bimbo.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello,
Good morning. We are with you.
Hello.
Good morning. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. We are with you.
Hello.
Oh, he can't. Oh, please. He can't hear us. 070 5555 1985. Oh, we lost that again. 070 5555 1985. Kano Assembly orders probe of local government security funds over rising bandit attacks. Well, I think that's appropriate. They are asking what the local councils have been doing with security funds.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ojo Michael, come from Moromito.
Good to have you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
Yes. You said, Mr. Tola, that yes, you have the right to probe. It is true. But why the probe now? I mean, the Russian government. Why are they probing the Russian government now? It is political. So they should go and sit down. I don't know the government. I don't want to use the found on here. They should go and see that. They should leave Shirima today alone. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I think the move to initiate the probe had been on probably long before now. The court has just given them its judgment. Right.
Hello, good morning.
Our last caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Briefly.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
My name is Friday Ahilo from Benjamin.
Okay, good to have you.
Thank you. What I want to say is this. About the Christian genocide, because based off the information that Donald Trump has that he wrote to act about, because I'm from Benue and I know what is happening, but people here, we are just hearing it, we are not seeing it. But we that from Benue and other middle belt, we know what is going on there. I can tell you that by the time these people will come to attack, you can never see them touch the mosque. But many of the churches have been burned down, destroyed, even though the instrument for the church taking away to then go and sold it for in the natural state.
Wow.
And even though you can see they will target the kind of their attack, they cannot come on Friday when the end of the month. But they normally attack on Sunday early when people are in the church. So if you are there, see what is going on, nobody will tell you before you know that they are come for the Christian. The reason why people that are living in that area are crying out because they see what is going on there. But you people here, they are hearing it, but they are not seeing it. So my brother,
thank you very much.
The experience that you are passing through, that's why they are crying out that they are Christian genocide. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I agree with you, but then you must also understand the fact that those who sponsor these evil elements, they deliberately tell them to target Christians because that is what they want you to think, that this is about religion. We have had stories whereby entire communities are almost wiped out because of mineral resources, but then they want to distract you by making you think that it's about Christian genocide. So they tell the attackers to deliberately target Christians. That's why I said the Mr. Trump himself must also go after the financiers.
Yes, and Tola, remember when some people were, brought to the mosque, they were calling for prayers, Islamic prayers, Muslim prayers in the afternoon, and when all those people they rushed to them and they killed all of them in this Nigeria. So are those Christians?
All right, we have to go. Been an interesting conversation, and we will be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day.
Conversation 98.5 Oluyole FM.
morning, sport fans. Thursday morning, right here from the live studio of Oluyole 98.5 FM, the mother station. Of course, we are also live across Okeogun 96.3 FM and Agility 92.1 FM. Your breakfast sports show on radio is live on air on the radio service of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. My name is Toby Ajewole, your host on the program this morning. And of course, always a pleasure to be here. It was a rainy night, equally a rainy Thursday morning right here from the Oyo State capital, the place of the state, Ibadan to be precise. And of course, come rain or shine, we would always be here to give you the latest sporting stories, the latest sporting news. Of course, we've created a whole lot of content to make your Thursday morning enjoyable right here. Well, you could catch us live on Facebook and on YouTube, Oluyole 98.5 FM. He is the streaming channel. And of course, you could also drop your comment on the live stream. Make the microphone yours and have your say this morning by calling these two numbers 080-5500-9850. Taking it again, 080-5500-9850. You could equally call 070-5555-1985. Yes, as soon as your calls come in, you can react to all of the stories which you've heard, or any of the story which you want to drop your 2 cents on, and of course we'll be sure we will make it as interactive as much as possible. Well, on the menu this morning, we have updates from the camp of Team Nigeria as they are looking and counting down to the hours regarding their Commonwealth Games set to go down in Glasgow, Scotland. We'll also be giving you football news, football gist from the camp of Nigeria's Super Falcons as they prepare and, of course, plan to successfully defend their WAFCON title. Of course, a domestic football story